So we are about celestial beings, discussing celestial beings. We're going to explore this subject. So what's it all about? So when I say the word celestial beings, what does that mean to you, Gadarjas?
Something not physical.
Something not physical, okay. What else does it represent for you?
Planetary bodies.
Planetary bodies, yeah. But do actual figures come to mind when we talk about celestial beings? Yeah.
To my mind, they come elemental beings, fairies.
Fairies, yeah. Well, the elemental beings and the fairies are more kind of allocated to the earth, whereas celestial beings, Aspomin, they're more to do with the celestial realms, let's say.
Like, for example, angelic beings?
Angelic beings, yeah. Okay. But in the process that we're going to do, it may be celestial beings, but they may also come from other realms as well. So it doesn't necessarily just mean from there. It could be coming in from anywhere. Okay. So because we're doing fusion, what is it that we need to look out for when we're dealing with these, beings from other realms of existence? What do we need to look out for?
Not to discuss or come in contact with beings that seem to be evil or have bad intentions.
How do we know?
We will ask source when we're there.
Right, so this is how you know. You ask primary source. You know, there is a however though. And the however is that sometimes because we are so conditioned, okay, or programmed to feel or believe that they are beings of light, that we just take it that they are beings of light. But is it possible, though, that they could possibly be mimicking being beings of light? Is that possible?
Yes.
So, woman, how do we differentiate? I know you say connect to source, connect to primary source. But what if someone feels that they're already connected to the highest perspective of creation, and yet these beings aren't what they're cracked up to be?
You will understand it after a while, because I think that they will start demanding things. Or that
Right.
conversation might start being manipulating.
Right. So these are telltale signs to look out for. If the being in question starts to try and barter with you, you do for me and I do for you, you do this for me, and so in return I will give you this. If you worship me, if you call upon me, if you worship my name, if there's any of this stuff going on, then that would be an indication to be very careful what it is that you are invested in and what it is that you are connecting to. Yes? So, and this just, we need to expand on that and also know that that also means when we are referring to deities as well. Yeah? Gods, goddesses, different kinds of beings from different kinds of realms. So we just need to be very, very careful. And in this process that we're going to do, we are going to invite some of these friends in, but you're going to be guided in a way so that you can differentiate whether they are authentically benevolent or if they are mimicking benevolence but are in actual fact something less than that. And the truth is that we don't want anything less than that. And if it is less than that, I'm gonna guide you what to do with it when we're in it. But looking at it now, if you find that it is less than that, what do you do with it? What would you do with it? Are you going to say, well, okay, have a seat?
No.
And birazzi. Sorry?
Watch it, ask and watch it go.
Yeah, well, there has to be something preceding it in order for it to go away. You have got to what?
Maybe first ask it to go away, and if it doesn't, ask primary source to do that.
Right. Yeah, but it's not.
Conversation.
It's not a conversation. It's not. Yeah, it's not an entity that's gonna, sort of like. It's before anything has happened, you will either ask it to go, and if that doesn't happen, you ask primary source to, do the bouncer thing and get it to go. Okay? Does that make sense? But the important thing is not just the message that you're about to receive from this process, but it's also to deal, learning how to deal with these different kind of energy presences and what to do with them, to recognise them for what they are, and to have the firmness and to be able to have the responsibility, and the courage to deal with the situation before you start getting into interaction with the being in question. It's very important to do that, because as you open up and expand the level of your consciousness, there's a good possibility that a lot of stuff could come in. So you've got to learn to go, no, Sometimes, when I'm in a session, perhaps I can't tell. And so what do I do? What would I do when I can't tell? And then katalavu το ίδιον, from that particular presence. If I can't get clearance to find out what it is, right, you ask primary source, is it good, is it bad, is it okay to have a whatever association, to receive a message from this being, because in this instance we're actually going to be receiving messages from them. We're actually going to be interactive and converse with them. So that's why it's very important to be able to differentiate. But the same rule applies. If it is entity, you don't do it. If it's something that is negative, evil, malevolent, you don't come into interaction for healing, for transformation, for anything, okay?
The only thing you can ask is to go.
Yeah, so you don't get into, interaction. It's just a statement, basically. You can make the statement.
And
They may do. It's possible. So what do you do in that instance?
You ask from source, but first you are in your protection.
Exactly.
Already.
We're already going to apply protection work to start with. And, where the whole of the Bodundo interaction is going to happen is going to be like in a sacred environment that we're about to create. So you're already safe, you're already protected, and if this being doesn't listen, then you just bring in primary source, organic company, and alliance of sort. You bring in the bouncers, basically, and they deal with it. Yeah? So are you ready to engage in the process? Yeah? Okay.